of $5,200 to begin with. Now, that is one aspect of, you want to break it down, I don't know how they ever came to that amount.
I can answer that question.
Okay, I also, you mentioned the tax account whereby they can recover that money. If you do not have a tax account, they could not go and take that money. So I would suggest anybody to stop your tax account.
They can add it to the taxes.
They can add it, yeah, but okay, but they wouldn't get it until you pay your taxes, right? They
If you don't pay your
take the money
taxes, they
now.
can sell your home.
You're attached to your property tax.
Yeah.
3 years.
Leave it.
I have another thing.
It really
is.
Yes, yes.
If up until this time, they have been charging people, and some people are paying and some people are not. Now, if they have to pay all these people, the administrator, the fire, all these people, they have to pay them for as long as this program has been running. If they have not collected enough money to pay these people, where's the money coming from to pay these administrators and fire chiefs and inspectors and so on? I suggest it's coming from the general revenue, which is our tax-paying dollars, and I myself, and don't like that because I could myself launch a class action suit because they're collecting this money illegally out of my tax dollars.
A very good point, a very good point. To answer the question of,
Okay, well, you've got many questions here. To begin with, you're asking me where they get the fee, the $5,200?
Yes.
Well, the first thing off, 300 of that is currently administrative costs. 2,900 is the inspection fee. What they've got included in there is a full-time police officer, including their vehicle. All their building, heat and light, a secretary, a manager, and 3 inspectors. So you got a number of employees there. More so than you only have in an inspection agency like that. Now, unlike other areas in the municipality, where the operational cost, heat and light is distributed over, is in a different area, it's a given, it's part of the operational cost of running a municipality, they build everything. They padded the books, in my view, okay?
They're in a construction trailer in front of City Hall.
No matter, they're padding the books. Now, with respect to your, just for your general information, a building permit will cost you about $2,000 to build a new house. So that gives you some indication on what padding there is there. A lot more expensive, but get your question regarding your taxes. What happens is that there's provisions in the charter when you're dealing with the service cost, that's what they were calling it. I spoke to Lou earlier, that if you don't pay it, they can put it on your taxes as taxes in the arrear. Whether the bank pays it or not is another story. If you got a mortgage to your bank, then the taxes will be paid accordingly. And I think there's a banker, right, you don't know what I'm talking about. If your taxes are normally $2,000, and now you'll have another $2,000, you'll have $7,200 bill. Your monthly payments will go up substantially because of that.
thank you.
Okay?
Plus they can call your note. The banks are calling notes.
Well, banks, that's another old story, because the bank is when they're putting notices on title, saying you had a grow off there. Well, the banks don't know, and they relate it around mold and all sorts of bad things,
I
right?
think we can all agree that the city's after the money, and it will go to every, lady in the back there, please.
I haven't had one of these searches done, but I feel like all of us in Mission could be the next. On a whim, right now it's how much hydro you use, what is it gonna be next time? I find these extremely invasive. I think they're using intimidation against people. And I attended the delegation by Michael Vaughn, and I was shocked at the disrespect that they gave the lawyer that was trying to give the district a way out of this. She was actually saying, you want to avoid this class action, you have the power to right the wrong, you have the power to do the right thing, and they snubbed her, and they wouldn't let questions, and they just said, forget it. They've been doing this for 2 years, holding little hearings, little mini hearings, where they sit there and review the evidence and decide whether or not there's evidence that you should get that fine or not. I mean, what kind of qualifications do these counselors have for doing police work? I would say none.
And you know what,
And then people have done delegation after delegation, I've been watching it in the minutes, going off, their only recourse is to ask for some sort of reasonableness here, and the council has just said, hasta la vista, we don't care, we're taking the money.
And you know, not to trample on council, but you know what, they had their chance to speak, and they did not, and this is why you're here tonight.
They've had
Because you want
2
somebody
years
to
that
hear
they've been
you.
doing this. 2 years.
Out of curiosity, how many people have actually been charged by the RCMP?
No, nobody's been charged under the bylaw, let alone.
Nobody's actually been charged for the allegations that they're putting forward.
Yeah,
They've had
quickly.
2 years to right this wrong, 2 years to say, maybe what we're doing is over the line, heavy-handed, and not one of them had come forward and said, let's back off, let's review this. They went full steam ahead. It's only because you guys are bringing up the class action right now, and this is.
No, all fairness, Jenny Stevens did. I've been dealing with her for 2 years, and all fairness, Jenny Stevens has. She initially voted for it, but she's been the advocate. I've been in contact with her on a number of occasions, and unfortunately, council has been giving her a bad time over it, okay?
With all due respect, Jenny
But
Stevens.
Larry,
Hello?
Larry, she, last thing a few months ago, she didn't say a boo.
I don't
Oh.
care, I've been dealing with her, and I
Well,
know
that
she
is,
has.
she
That's
didn't
all I
speak
need.
The
out.
gentleman at the back has been patient and kind there, let's give him a chance. Yeah, gentlemen.
Larry, what I wanted to
Whichever
know,
way
if
the-
that bylaw was not in place and the $5,000 fee was not in place, those employees that are doing this inspection now still be employed by the municipality doing other work, right?
No, supposedly not, but that hasn't been the track record of this council. All you have to do is look at the budgetary, what's happened over the past year's budgetary and the actual economy. You just look at the planning department, you're well aware. The inspection service, engineering department. But what'll happen is the RCMP, I don't know what's gonna happen with the RCMP. I suspect the RCMP will become a full-time, they'll absorb the RCMP member, and I think about $120,000 a year for an RCMP member. You don't know what this council is going to do, to be quite honest with you. But bottom line is, they don't need this bylaw to deal with the issue at hand. They do have the Fire Services Act, they got the fire bylaw, they got the building bylaw, they got the building code, they got all sorts of legislation, they don't require the team. But this team is like everybody's saying here, they're very heavy-handed, they're like the Gestapo. That's the word around town, is the Gestapo.
Kevin, there's somebody on your right.
Gentlemen,
Okay, yeah, we had an inspection in July, and,
Michael Nolan.
yeah. Now, I've been in the fire service for 30 years. I thought the inspection was absolutely poorly done,
Yeah,
because all the protocols for even going into a place like that were breached. Now, first of all, there was no grow-up there anyways.
yeah.
And I found them to be arrogant,
Yeah.
condescending, and intimidating, because at the end of the inspection, they said, we are charging you because we suspect. Well, when did suspicion become valid proof?
They're unknowledgeable, they're not trained.
Right, exactly, my point. But they said, you have to sign this to allow you to remain on the premises, to live on the premises, or we will cut your water and your power. This is what they said.
Well, first of all, they have no authority to cut your power off, there's provision on the charter where they have to give you notification. And they can't cut your power off because you draw off, I went over it a little earlier, draw off will not cause a water call.
Right,
Now, with respect to your power, the courts have already determined that they can't cut them off.
right. But my point was, this is the intimidation that they use.
I know.
We need you to sign. It's not an admission of guilt.
Yeah.
And then, now, there was no photographs taken of any of the inspection.
Yeah.
There was no mold samples, no air samples, no water samples, nothing.
No?
So you don't even have a baseline to check anything with, to begin with. So it's ridiculous.
Okay, what to do is write them and ask them for the absolute specific evidence. You don't need the innuendo and a bunch of crap, like the picture of your watch, your meter. Ask them for the evidence in point form. They'll give you a bunch of crap in between that, but they have to give you, what's this called, what they call administrative fairness. This council does not believe in natural rules of justice or administrative fairness. Anybody who's dealt with me on this, you can vouch, because of the letter I wrote the editor, but,
After that, we met with the mayor,
yeah.
and he said if there's any doubt, it goes to the homeowner.
That's where it's supposed to be.
Well, and then we were scheduled to go to council on September the 13th to present our case.
Yes?
We were taken off the agenda.
Yes.
So it's on the same day.
Well, I'll tell you why.
We
First
were
of all,
taken off the agenda because they didn't want to be embarrassed in public.
I know why they did. Ask Trish. We went to a.
They said they were going to review.